Good morning. Today we are going to present a topic on US nuclear deterrence strategy. This is our outline. First, we will introduce the nuclear deterrence strategies of United States. In theoretical framework, the realism and structural realism will use to discuss the strategy. The development of the strategy. In rational sections, we will discuss the reason why United States needs nuclear weapons, and we will move to discuss the analysis of the strategy and end with the conclusion. My name is Ng Chia Wei. Now I will introduce the nuclear deterrence strategy of United States. The concept of nuclear deterrence strategy is the idea came about after the Second World War. It refers to a strategy of that used by a state to deter actions of armed forces of other states by having nuclear arsenals. From the perspective of the United States, nuclear weapons should be reserved in order to protect its own national interests and security. In the nuclear deterrence strategy, it has another concept, which is extended deterrence. This concept is about the idea of nuclear umbrella, which means if US owns the nuclear weapon, it can protect its allies and deter other nations from pursuing their own nuclear weapons. Thus, it aims to guarantee the security of US allies from being attacked by other nations.
I will continue the presentations on the theoretical framework. Realist is suitable to explain why states should own nuclear power, because realists assume international system was anarchy. State will be maximizing its power to survive in the self-help system, especially military power. However, to be specified, this study will focus on the structural realism. Structural realism can be separated into two branches, which is offensive realism and defensive realism. After comparing similarity and difference between the offensive realism and defensive realism, we realize that offensive realism provides a better explanation for US nuclear deterrence strategy. Offensive realism encourages state maximizing its military power to survive in the anarchy international system, even achieve the ultimate goals of offensive realist hegemony. For example, practice of nuclear deterrence strategy of the United States to sustain its global hegemon positions. Offensive realists assume that states and leaders are rational actors. Adoptions of nuclear deterrence strategy prevent outbreak of war effectively, because every decision is made after calculations of risks, loss, and gains. The destructive power of nuclear beyond a probability of human being. The best example is the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. As I mentioned before, practice of nuclear deterrence strategy able to maintain hegemony positions by preventing rays of hostile. For example, mutual assured destruction doctrine effectively prevent the rise of China in terms of nuclear power, and thus nuclear power will be part of US strategy to surplus its rival.
Now, I will discuss about the nuclear deterrence strategy of United States. Generally, the nuclear deterrence strategy is differ during the administration of each president. During the Second World War, nuclear weapon was monopolized by United States. President Truman witnessed the destruction of atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Therefore, he wanted to have an international agreement to control the atomic weapon. But the Berlin Crisis 1948, where Soviet blocked the access of Western allies to Western-controlled Berlin, caused President Truman to reorganize the nuclear use to counter Soviet Union. President Eisenhower, on the other hand, emphasized on the immediate response toward potential threat mainly from Soviet. Thus, his doctrine was known as the doctrine of massive retaliation, targeting Soviet nuclear energy installation. By 1960s, United States and Soviet has explicit unbalanced nuclear power, with United States possess more than 3,000 warheads and the Soviet with around 500. Due to the limited capacity to counterattack Soviet Union, during Kennedy's administration, the Secretary of Defense McNamara rejected minimum deterrence and suggested to employ more ballistic missiles to reduce Soviet's power and minimize the damage on United States. Mutually assured destruction was widely adopted by United States to counter Soviet Union. President Nixon meanwhile pursued arms control agreement with Soviet Union to limit its expansion through limiting the IBM systems and launches. When Jimmy Carter succeeded the position, he produced his own version of strategy, which known as the countervailing strategy, because Soviet Union did not comply with the Arms Control Treaty. During Bush administration, he provided aids to dismantle nuclear weapons and offer technology sharing. At the same time, he announced to cut down nuclear weapons. However, Bush argued United States could use nuclear weapons to fight against its target for retaliation and for military development. Lastly, Obama as a peace advocate suggested that United States did not need numerous nuclear arsenals. He demanded for a peace international environment and therefore he reduced the nuclear weapon owned by United States. For Trump, who is still new in his presidency, it is unclear whether he will remain the same with Obama's strategy or adopt a totally different one. The administration of each president have witnessed a change in nuclear deterrence strategy. In short, each president adopted different measures to protect the interests of the United States in terms of national security. Now, I will proceed the rationale section, which discuss the reason why US should maintain its nuclear weapon. Over the years, some scholars argue that US nuclear weapons should not be abolished, and one of the reasons behind for owning a nuclear weapon is for security purpose. And some argue it is also an instrument of peace based on the nuclear deterrence strategy. For security purpose, due to the rise of the nuclear weapon states such as Israel, India, and North Korea, the nuclear weapons are no longer limited to major powers like US and Russia. More states have developed nuclear powers which become a threat to United States. Moreover, Russia and China are the major rivals of the United States and the largest fear of United States. Both Russia and China, they are allocated the highest budget in military after the US. And moreover, US produced security weapons is not only for security purpose, but also as a source of economy. The latest nuclear weapons produced by US are kept for self-usage, while the less advanced will be sold to other countries. Another driving factor for US to own the nuclear power is to maintain regional and global peace. The most significant example is the atomic bombing in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the nuclear weapons can prevent the outbreak of the large-scale war and also to deter the rivalry to start a war. Every country knows the effect of the atomic bomb is too severe and they're afraid of the United States to drop any nuclear weapons if its national interests and security are threatened by other states. And some scholars they also argue nuclear weapons can make the world more peaceful. Thus, the nuclear deterrence strategy is still remain relevant to United States.
The national states who own nuclear weapons, including United States. From the US perspective, each state might threaten the status of US. I would continue to explain our analysis on the United States nuclear deterrence strategy. Basically, we will focus on the effectiveness of the strategy, especially in terms of the strengths and weaknesses. Through the previous discussion, US justified the necessity of the strategy as for its national security and the instrument of peace. Thus, we could argue that the nuclear deterrence is still relevant in the post-Cold War era.
However, it is only effective if both parties are having similar strengths but not increasing the nuclear weapons. The increasing numbers of nuclear weapons is another routine for military rivalry, which might cause another large-scale war. Furthermore, the proliferation of nuclear weapons by US could threaten other states to own their nuclear weapon as well. Although US aims to deter others to own the nuclear weapon, it is possible that the other states will be worried their own survival if they do not have the nuclear weapon. The security dilemma is dangerous as it may lead to another arms race. Those non-nuclear states would like to possess nuclear weapons to maintain their own survival, while those potential hegemony, such as China, Russia, and India, might increase their nuclear weapons in order to counterbalance the US. In addition, some US policymakers believe that it is necessary for US to continue its nuclear deterrence strategy due to the rise of terrorism. However, the effect is remain unclear due to the changes of the nature of the deterrence. The differences are summed up in the next table. This table is used to illustrate the differences of Cold War deterrence and post-9/11 deterrence. For example, US has only single opponent during the Cold War, which is Russia, while in the post-9/11 deterrence, they have multiple opponents, even those non-state opponents, such as terrorist groups. And the US after the 9/11 events, they have poorly understood their opponents. There are also other characteristics as well as other criteria which are changes for an effective nuclear deterrence strategy. You may want to pause the slides to have further deeper understanding on these differences. In conclusion, there is unlikely that the US will stop its development of nuclear weapons, especially in the near future. This is mainly due to the security concerns and national interests of US itself. While sometimes US justify the strategy as a tool to maintain world peace, the strategy itself is an important concept in the strategic studies, which emphasize on how nuclear weapons could deter an unwanted action from the other states. Some argue that it is necessary to maintain peace by giving example of Cuban Missile Crisis and North Korean Aggression Act. But there are also some doubts on the effectiveness of the strategy. For example, US could not stop North Korea or Pakistan to own the nuclear weapon. Neither Russia nor US nuclear weapon could stop the Middle East conflict as well. Such argument is made largely due to the fact that the international system is rapidly changed. The most effective period of nuclear deterrence strategy is during the Cold War, but not the post-9/11 era. Therefore, it is still debatable on the effectiveness and relevancy of the US nuclear deterrence strategy in recent and upcoming future. This presentation is based on our written report, which we does not suggest a total elimination of nuclear weapons of US